Welcome to Stoic Mastery, the channel dedicated to unlocking the most powerful wisdom for mastering your mind, conquering adversity, and finding true inner peace. Let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why some people remain calm, collected, and in control, even when the world around them is falling apart? What if I told you the secret to their unshakable confidence lies not in luck or privilege, but in ancient principles that have stood the test of time? Principles that can help you strengthen your mind, gain emotional control, and find peace amidst chaos. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges, stressed out by external pressures, or simply want to build a mental fortress that can't be cracked, then you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 Stoic lessons that will transform the way you think, respond, and live. These are not just abstract concepts. They are life-changing truths that will help you face adversity with a calm mind, build your emotional resilience, and tap into an unshakable inner peace. These lessons are grounded in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, but also blend in powerful psychological insights. Dark psychology strategies, if you will, that will give you an edge in mastering your thoughts and emotions. Whether you're seeking to find more peace in your life or need a mental strategy to deal with chaos, these Stoic principles are the foundation you need. But before we jump into it, I need you to do something. Like this video, comment your favorite empowering phrase below, and subscribe to Stoic Mastery to get more powerful tools for mental mastery. Trust me, if you want to be someone who lives with purpose, discipline, and resilience, this is the channel you need. Now, let's dive in. Number 1, control what you can, accept what you can't. One of the most empowering principles from Stoicism is the concept of controlling only what is within your grasp and letting go of the rest. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This statement is as powerful as it is simple. Too often, we waste our energy trying to control things that are beyond our reach, whether it's the opinions of others, past events, or future uncertainties. In doing so, we end up feeling helpless, frustrated, or angry when things don't go our way. But here's the twist. Accepting what you can't control actually empowers you. Once you understand that external events are beyond your control, you realize that your power lies in how you respond to them. It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you choose to deal with it. This is where dark psychology comes into play. Life throws curveballs at us, unpredictable, unfair, and sometimes downright brutal. And people often react impulsively, letting emotions cloud their judgment. But the Stoics understood that the true power comes from within. By accepting the things you can't control, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You take away the emotional charge from external circumstances and shift your focus toward controlling your internal responses. When you can focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset, you become immune to the chaos around you. You build mental fortitude. You stop being a victim of life's events and start being a master of your own reactions. This mindset doesn't just give you peace, but also opens the door to emotional freedom. Because once you stop trying to change everything outside of yourself, you can focus your energy on things that truly matter, like your growth, your purpose, and your well-being. Why does this matter? The psychological principle behind this is the idea of internal versus external locus of control. People with an external locus of control believe that their lives are shaped by forces outside of their control, luck, fate, or other people's actions. On the other hand, those with an internal locus of control believe they have the power to shape their own destiny through their actions and decisions. Now imagine how empowering it feels to have that internal locus of control, to realize that you hold the keys to your own life. This is where Stoicism shines. The Stoic perspective shifts your mindset from helplessness to empowerment. Instead of fearing what could happen, you embrace what you can influence, and you find strength in that ability. For instance, let's say you face a setback at work or in your personal life. Instead of dwelling on the unfairness of it or stressing about the future, you focus on how you can respond. You ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? Can you improve your skills? Can you adjust your mindset? Can you make a more informed decision moving forward? When you take control of your response, you transform the situation from a threat to an opportunity. This is a practice, and like any habit, it takes time to master. But the more you exercise this mindset, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes. You'll stop getting swept up by external events and start rising above them, grounded in the knowledge that your peace comes from within. Number 2, embrace discomfort and seek the hard path. In a world that constantly promotes comfort and convenience, the Stoics stand in stark contrast. One of their most fundamental teachings is that growth comes from discomfort, and the harder path is often the one that leads to the greatest rewards. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This simple yet profound truth challenges our natural instinct to avoid pain and seek ease. But why embrace discomfort? Why choose the harder road? The answer lies in understanding that comfort breeds complacency, while discomfort forges strength. When you constantly choose what's easy, whether it's staying in a dead-end job, avoiding difficult conversations, or indulging in temporary pleasures, you begin to erode your mental toughness. You settle into a pattern of passive living. But when you willingly face discomfort, you activate your inner strength. You challenge your mind and body to grow beyond their limits. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind this. Humans are wired to avoid pain. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism that kept our ancestors safe. But in today's world, the dangers are not physical. They are psychological, emotional, and societal. And the reality is that most people are held back by fear of discomfort, fear of failure, rejection, judgment, or simply stepping outside their comfort zone. This is where dark psychology plays a key role. Many successful individuals understand that discomfort is an inevitable part of their journey, and they use it to their advantage. They learn to tolerate, even seek, discomfort as a means to grow. It's a form of psychological conditioning. When you push yourself into uncomfortable situations, whether it's physical training, difficult conversations, or facing your fears head-on, you start to build resilience. You become immune to the things that once would have thrown you off track. Here's the truth that most people avoid. Nothing truly valuable comes without discomfort. Whether it's mastering a new skill, building a business, or improving your relationships, all of it requires effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to endure hardships. If you choose the easy path, you rob yourself of the very experiences that would make you stronger. Think about it. Have you ever achieved anything significant without feeling some kind of resistance? The discomfort of learning, failing, and trying again is the very thing that shapes success. It's in those moments of struggle that you discover what you're truly capable of. So, how can you begin to embrace discomfort and seek the harder path? Start small. Do one thing today that challenges you. It might be waking up earlier than usual to work on your goals, engaging in a conversation you've been avoiding, or taking on a project that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. Each time you do this, you strengthen your ability to handle discomfort, and over time, it becomes easier to face greater challenges. Another important aspect is mindset. The Stoics were masters at reframing their perception of hardship. They didn't see discomfort as something to avoid, but as a tool for personal growth. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, wisely said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This idea is key. If you can train yourself to reframe discomfort as an opportunity to improve, you will no longer fear it. Instead of thinking, "This is painful," you'll start thinking, "This is an opportunity for me to grow." And with that mindset, discomfort becomes a powerful ally in your journey toward mental strength and success. Number 3, live according to nature. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is the idea of living according to nature. To the Stoics, living in alignment with nature means accepting life's natural flow, its inevitable ups and downs, and understanding that we, as individuals, are part of a larger universe that follows certain laws and rhythms. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This concept may sound simple, but it's transformative. The Stoics encourage us to stop resisting life as it is, and instead accept it fully. By embracing what comes our way, both the good and the bad, we align ourselves with the natural order and unlock a sense of inner peace. Understanding life's natural flow. Life is unpredictable, and it's filled with both triumphs and hardships. Yet, most of us spend a significant amount of energy fighting against the things we cannot control, external events, other people's actions, or the uncontrollable nature of life itself. This resistance creates frustration, anxiety, and often leads us to feel powerless. Living according to nature means accepting what comes to us and focusing on how we respond. We cannot change the weather, the actions of others, or the past. But what we can control is our response, our attitude, and how we approach each situation. Acceptance is key. The power of acceptance lies in letting go of the need to control everything. Life will unfold in its own way, regardless of how much we try to force it into our vision. However, our role is to understand that we can choose how we react. Stoicism teaches that when we embrace life's natural flow, its unpredictability, its moments of difficulty and joy alike, we stop suffering from emotional resistance. We stop fighting against reality and instead choose to respond with wisdom, patience, and resilience. The Stoic reframe. One of the key Stoic strategies is to reframe challenges. Rather than seeing obstacles as misfortunes, the Stoics teach us to view them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge becomes a chance to practice virtues like resilience, patience, and wisdom. By reframing difficulties as part of the natural order, we stop perceiving them as threats. Instead, they become stepping stones to a stronger, more resilient self. The power of embracing impermanence. Nature teaches us that nothing is permanent, not success, not failure, not even suffering. Just as seasons change, so do the phases of our lives. By understanding this, we free ourselves from the fear of change. When we live according to nature, we learn to embrace impermanence and focus on what we can control, our reactions and our actions in the present moment. Embrace the flow. Living in harmony with nature means understanding that life will always bring both ease and difficulty. The real strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in how we respond to them. Acceptance of life's natural rhythm, its inevitable highs and lows, frees us from unnecessary emotional turmoil and leads us to greater peace. Number 4, detach from external validation. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by the opinions of others. Whether it's through social media, work, or personal relationships, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation. But the Stoics have a powerful reminder for us. Your worth should never be defined by what others think of you. Seneca wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This teaches us that true freedom comes from within, and it starts by detaching from external validation. Why we seek external validation. Humans are social creatures, and from an evolutionary perspective, The need for acceptance and approval was crucial for survival. Belonging to a group meant protection and shared resources. However, this need for external validation has evolved and now influences our happiness and self-worth in ways that no longer serve us. We constantly seek praise, recognition, and approval. But the problem is, these things are fleeting. The opinions of others are often inconsistent and unreliable, meaning we're left vulnerable to emotional highs and lows based on how others perceive us. The Stoic solution: internal validation. The Stoics offer a transformative solution. Stop seeking validation from others. Instead, focus on internal validation: your actions, your integrity, and your alignment with your values. Epictetus reminds us that we can control our thoughts, decisions, and behaviors, but we cannot control the opinions of others. True peace comes from realizing that what others think of you is irrelevant to your value as a person. Living this way means focusing on living a virtuous life, making decisions based on what aligns with your principles, rather than trying to impress others. Your self-worth is built on your character, your growth, and your ability to stay true to yourself, regardless of external praise or criticism. Reframing: criticism and praise. Part of detaching from external validation involves reframing criticism and praise. When you receive criticism, instead of letting it define you or cause self-doubt, view it as feedback for growth. Criticism is not an attack on your worth, but an opportunity to improve. On the other hand, when receiving praise, appreciate it, but don't rely on it to boost your self-esteem. The Stoic mindset teaches us to keep both praise and criticism in perspective, knowing they don't alter our intrinsic worth. By practicing detachment from others' judgments, you no longer find your happiness or sense of value in their opinions. Instead, you develop self-reliance. You trust your own judgment, knowing that you are living authentically and with integrity. How to practice detachment? To practice detachment, start by becoming aware of how often you seek validation. Do you feel deflated after criticism? Do you chase praise for reassurance? Recognize these patterns and begin to shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, am I living by my values? Am I making decisions that reflect who I want to be? The more you focus on your internal compass, the less you'll be affected by external opinions. With time, you'll grow more confident in your own worth, unaffected by praise or criticism. Number 5, view obstacles as opportunities. In the world of Stoicism, challenges and obstacles are not things to fear or avoid. They are opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful concept teaches us that the very obstacles we face in life can be transformed into catalysts for personal development if we change the way we perceive them. The Stoic approach to obstacles. At the core of Stoicism is the belief that our mindset shapes our experience. Obstacles are not inherently bad. They are simply part of life's natural course. Rather than avoiding or resenting challenges, Stoicism encourages us to embrace them. Every obstacle, no matter how painful or difficult, is an opportunity to practice virtue, whether it's patience, resilience, wisdom, or courage. The Stoic approach to challenges is not about avoiding discomfort, but leaning into it. The more we experience hardship and adversity, the stronger we become. Seneca, a key Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This perspective allows us to see that every challenge is an opportunity to become more mentally tough and emotionally resilient. Reframing obstacles. What distinguishes Stoics from others is their ability to reframe obstacles. Instead of viewing adversity as something to lament, they reframe it as an opportunity to grow stronger. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. How often do you feel frustrated or defeated by obstacles? What if you could instead see those challenges as stepping stones on your journey toward greater strength and self-mastery? For example, let's say you face a tough situation at work. Perhaps you're passed over for a promotion, or you're dealing with a difficult colleague. Instead of feeling defeated or angry, you can reframe this experience. Instead of seeing the situation as a setback, view it as an opportunity to practice patience, to sharpen your skills, or to develop greater emotional control. This mindset doesn't just apply to work situations, but to all areas of life. Every challenge is an opportunity to hone the qualities that will make you stronger, wiser, and more capable. The more you practice this, the less you'll fear obstacles. Instead, you'll face them with calm determination, knowing that you have the power to grow from whatever comes your way. The role of perception. A key aspect of Stoic thought is the idea that it's not the obstacle itself that causes suffering, but our perception of it. We tend to see challenges as negative, threatening experiences that must be avoided at all costs. However, the Stoics teach us to reframe these perceptions. When we change the way we view obstacles, they lose their power to overwhelm us. For instance, consider how a difficult workout can be painful and exhausting. However, the discomfort of physical exertion is actually building strength. Similarly, emotional struggles, while difficult, are often what help us develop resilience and wisdom. What stands in the way becomes the way. The very things we resist often have the power to shape us into stronger, more capable individuals. Turning obstacles into opportunities. So how can you start seeing obstacles as opportunities? Begin by adopting a Stoic mindset of acceptance and reframing. The next time you encounter a challenge, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger or wiser? Instead of seeing the situation as something to escape from, embrace it. Use it as an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues like courage, patience, and perseverance. Number 6, understand the power of the present moment. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the emphasis on living in the present moment. The Stoics understood that time is the most valuable resource we have, and yet it is the one we often waste the most. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in his Meditations, "Time is a river of passing events, and we are the fish swimming in it." This powerful metaphor invites us to reflect on how we experience time, not as something distant or abstract, but as something fleeting and urgent. In Stoicism, there is a clear understanding that the past is gone and the future is uncertain. The only time we truly have is now. Living in the present moment is not just a philosophical idea, it is the foundation for a peaceful and focused life. The trap of dwelling on the past. It's easy to get trapped in the past. We think about mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities, and we dwell on what could have been. But the Stoics warn us against this. Dwelling on the past is a waste of mental energy. There is nothing we can change about it, and the more we focus on it, the less energy we have for the present. Seneca highlights this when he says, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When we get caught up in past events, we are effectively wasting time that could be used to shape our present and future. The Stoics teach us that the true key to wisdom is to stop lamenting the past, let it go, and turn our attention to the here and now. The anxiety of the future. Similarly, many people are consumed by the future. We worry about what might happen, what we can't control, or what's coming next. The fear of the unknown can paralyze us and prevent us from taking meaningful action in the present moment. This kind of worry is futile because, as the Stoics remind us, we can't control the future. What is uncertain cannot be controlled, and worrying about it only robs us of our current peace of mind. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, famously said, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. One of the greatest wants that many people have is the desire for certainty about the future. But the Stoics urge us to relinquish this desire, accepting that the future will unfold as it will, and the only thing we can control is our response to it. Living in the present moment. The Stoic practice of focusing on the present moment is a profound way to reclaim peace and power over our lives. By focusing only on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and emotions, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and the anxiety of the future. To live in the present moment, it's helpful to practice mindfulness, a simple yet effective technique where you focus fully on what is happening around you, noticing your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. When you catch yourself worrying about the future or regretting the past, gently guide your focus back to the present. The more you practice this, the more you'll find that you have more energy and peace to live your life fully. The power of the present moment. In the end, living in the present moment is about embracing what is, rather than chasing what could have been or what might be. This allows you to take focused action today, which will shape your future. The Stoics believed that living with purpose and intention in the present moment is the key to a fulfilled life. Number 7. Master the art of self-control. Self-control is one of the most powerful virtues in Stoic philosophy. Seneca said it perfectly. No man is free who is not master of himself. In a world full of distractions, temptations, and emotional triggers, the ability to control your actions and emotions is crucial for achieving peace and mental strength. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Self-control is not about suppressing emotions or desires, but about choosing how we respond to them. By practicing self-control, we empower ourselves to make decisions based on reason and long-term benefit, rather than succumbing to momentary impulses. The importance of self-control. One of the primary teachings of Stoicism is that our thoughts and actions are within our control, even when circumstances aren't. We can't always control how others behave or the challenges life throws at us, but we can control how we react. In moments of stress, frustration, or temptation, self-control helps us avoid impulsive decisions that can derail our peace of mind. Take the example of feeling angered during an argument. Instead of reacting impulsively with harsh words or actions, a Stoic would practice restraint and choose a more measured response. This control over our impulses doesn't just bring calmness in the moment, it builds mental resilience over time. Desires and self-control. A major focus of Stoic self-control is learning to master our desires. We all have desires for food, comfort, wealth, or status, but unchecked desires can lead us down a path of dissatisfaction and suffering. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from within, not from external acquisitions or indulgences. Epictetus famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The practice of self-control involves distinguishing between needs and wants, and focusing only on what is truly necessary for a fulfilled and virtuous life. By learning to control your desires, you can avoid the constant cycle of wanting and find peace in simplicity. Building self-control. So how can you start mastering self-control in your life? First, become aware of your impulses. Notice when you feel the urge to act out of emotion, whether it's eating an unhealthy snack, reacting angrily in a conversation, or making an impulsive purchase. The first step to self-control is awareness. Pause before you act and ask yourself if this decision aligns with your values and long-term goals. Secondly, practice small acts of discipline every day. Whether it's resisting the urge to procrastinate, sticking to your workout routine, or saying no to a momentary indulgence, each small act strengthens your self-control. Over time, this practice builds mental muscle, allowing you to better manage your responses in more significant challenges. Finally, remember that self-control isn't about perfection. It's about progress and consistency. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to make thoughtful choices rather than reactive ones. Self-control equals freedom. By mastering self-control, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil that comes from impulsive decisions. You gain the ability to choose how you respond to life, and that control leads to a greater sense of inner peace and purpose. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from being the master of yourself, not ruled by fleeting desires or emotions. As we wrap up these Stoic lessons designed to strengthen your mind and bring you closer to inner peace, remember that Stoicism is not a philosophy to simply study, it's a practice. These timeless teachings offer a powerful framework for navigating the ups and downs of life with wisdom, calm, and resilience. By mastering self-control, embracing discomfort, and detaching from external validation, you begin to unlock the peace and strength that lie within you. Living in harmony with nature, focusing on the present moment, and using silence and solitude as tools for reflection allow you to rise above the chaos of everyday life, creating space for clarity and growth. The path of Stoicism is one of purposeful living, one where you take responsibility for your actions, mindset, and reactions. It's a journey toward a stronger, more grounded version of yourself, regardless of what the world throws your way. If you've found these lessons helpful, don't forget to like, comment your empowering phrase below, and subscribe to Stoic Mastery. Join us as we continue to explore more life-changing Stoic principles to help you grow and transform your mind. Remember, true strength comes from within, and the Stoic path is always available to guide you. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and keep mastering your mind.